Yeah, second it.
Whatever. All in favor, or, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Minutes are approved. Do we have any questions on the claims?
I had one. It's on page 3. I'm gonna flip up to that real quick. And, that had to do with the Cedar Valley Humane Society. I think it's located out of Cedar Rapids.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure where they were located. Animal control, correct?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Aye.
So that was my question as to where they were located. So, okay. I don't have any other questions. Anybody else?
None here.
I make a motion to approve the claims.
I second them. Jumping off you
We can leave that door open.
It might be a little cold.
No, I mean, locked.
You can't. The only thing you do is shut her off and not.
Well, he said
No,
open,
he's
that's
doing
not
Don't
locked.
worry about it.
I
He's
will
only
be a
have to
little
change the
chill.
schedule, so it'll be a lock in the board meeting for them.
Don't worry about it.
No. It might be a little bit more complicated to do that, but
No big deal.
We only got a couple minutes before 9:05.
I could talk to, I think it's wait, he set up a special badge to swipe it and go off for that time, and then once done, you swipe it again and it'll go back to being locked.
It's
Calendar, isn't it?
it's fine. I'm hoping we're not over here that long.
Hang on, I gotta mute my.
Well, I guess we can discuss moving the board meeting date, 29th.
Yeah. My wife's supposed to have surgery on the 28th, and we gotta do test on the 27th, so.
Can you hear that, Rick?
Yes.
Okay.
Was having surgery on the 28th, I believe you said,
Yes.
and on the 27th.
Yes.
So,
Without
yeah. There usually isn't too much that goes on at that last meeting of the calendar year.
Correct.
I would have a problem if we, postpone everything. I think we're gonna be getting together the first Monday
The 4th, yes.
in January. Yeah.
You guys get sworn in at 8:30.
What's that?
You get sworn in at 8:30 and then you would have the meeting afterwards. So it would be, that first meeting is always a long one. And it starts usually right after the swearing in.
Okay. Well, why don't we just, at this point in time, unless there's something really pressing, not even have the meeting on the 29th. And if there is, Gary and I can be there.
I guess we have to know by when.
Well, we post the meeting agendas on the 28th, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's just postpone that 29th one. Okay?
Is that all right with you?
Whatever.
Any issues?
Okay, we can do that.
All right. Do you need the motion for that?
I don't think so, do we?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
I guess we're ready for,
Steve Meyer?
yeah, hazard mitigation plan.
Okay, I sent, I followed you guys' direction and went ahead and finished the plan. Even though the information I've got is inaccurate, out of date, and cannot be anything but inaccurate and out of date. So, I finished it. I I sent a copy of the most important section on to
Haley?
Haley. And it all comes down to, beginning on page 466, for Benton County, possible mitigation actions. The important thing here is, what I tried to do with all these mitigation actions was encapsulate anything that you guys might, the county might at some point in time apply for a federal grant for. That's the thing they're gonna see. So I went from, in the old plan, from 62 mitigation actions down to 20 in this. And what I did was I combined them, made them a lot more holistic, so to speak. So Scott's reviewed it and had a few comments and suggestions which I changed. And where we're at now is I need a resolution approving the plan. The one thing from the 2016 plan they said was a must-do for any updates or revisions, this is just an update, was that they wanted to see a resolution from every governing body in Benton County approving the plan. Now, we had resolutions from some of them in the 2016 plan, but not all of them. So it's just a formality, but
How many entities got to approve it yet?
14 cities. But I have commitments from some of them have already approved it, and all of them have at least given me verbal confirmation that they're gonna approve it, a council meeting on X date or whatever. I know some of them were last night, so I may have several of them. So I've got commitments from everybody to get it done.
Good.
And I'm just working on some indexing and some appendixes in the plan right now. My plan is, I leave the country January 11th. The completed plan, according to the contract I'm under, is supposed to be out at Des Moines by February 1st. I will either have it to them by the time I leave, or I get back on the 22nd shortly thereafter. So we ended up being on schedule, and we've done the best we can with what we have and what we have to work with. No face-to-face meetings and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it is what it is. So that's what I'm here. If you guys got any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Just looking for, you guys to approve the resolution more than anything today. I mean, if you want to read the 465 pages going up here, I'd be glad to give you a copy, autographed even, if you know. Like Scott and I both said, nobody pays attention to all that stuff anyway. The only thing that ever gets used is this right here. So anyway.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the Benton County Hazard Mitigation Plan of 2021.
And I will second that motion.
Okay, all,
And it's a resolution, correct?
Yes.
Email me the signed documents whenever you're PDF. Unless you want to sign it, give it to me here.
Where's,
We don't have it printed out, do you?
Okay, just sign it, have somebody sign it,
yeah.
when you guys sign it.
I think we all got to
We all three gotta sign it.
Yeah.
It's a resolution.
You all three have to? Okay, all
And then
right.
you want it just emailed to you?
Yeah, just email it to them.
So it'll be next week.
That's fine. Just, like I say, it has to go in with the plan and that's it, so.
Good.
No deadline, other than February 1st.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I figured out after we had that meeting, I need to get right on this and get all this stuff done post haste so that we can get all this in a logical sequence. The other thing that's gonna happen, probably this week, the completed plan will be posted to the county's website for, public review. We'll put some announcements out. I'll probably have all that done this week, so. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bet.
See you, Steve.
See ya. Going deer hunting?
Yep.
You going or at again?
Nope, going.
Oh,
Need a place to go?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Need a good shot, please. I almost hit two yesterday coming back from Cedar Rapids.
all right. See you guys later.
See ya.
Well, let's see. I guess we got some time, 4 minutes. Is Brent and Amy coming?
I'm sorry, dear?
Is Brent and Amy coming?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
There was discussion that she might, but I never heard back. So.
Thank you.
Sure. I didn't know you were not gonna be here today, Rick. I have pictures and whatnot, but I'll try to
Hold it up over his shoulder, I can look
yeah, I'll
with
try
the
to-
camera.
Okay. I'll hold it up here.
You're right. Sign there. This one.
My eyesight is that good, Mark.
Pardon me?
My eyesight wasn't good enough to see it as you held it up.
See it?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good?
A little bit.
Closer, farther?
Jeez.
Hey, that worked great. That worked so well.
Oh, boy.
More than one way to skin a cat.
Hey, that's a nice little, landscape picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got 2 Christmas cards from, where they go?
Right here.
Oh. I'll show them to you. Arbor State Bank. And
Yeah, that's what it is.
Iowa Association Counties. Being it's 9:15, I guess we're good.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay,
Isn't technology wonderful?
Yeah.
we have an application that I've given you for a change in land use from Brent and Amy Al-E of Palo. The Al-E's would like to build a new home on land that they own. The land under review is located south of 58th Street. It's about 1,670 feet west of 32nd Avenue. Just to put that in perspective, that's just south of the Urbana Bridge and then just back west, First Rock Road that goes west south of the Urbana Bridge. And it's, as I said, just approximately 1,670 feet west of 32nd Avenue. It's
It's in the northwest quarter, the northeast quarter of section 1585-9, or Benton Township. The LEs own 10.5 acres here. They'd like to change the use of 1 acre. It's currently bare land, undeveloped. The application packet that I've given you has a sketch of what it is that they'd like to do there as far as the building site and the driveway location. The photographs that I handed out to you, basically the first photo, I'm standing in the general area of where they'd like to build the home, and I'm looking towards the north, which would be back up towards the road, which is 58th Street. The second photograph that I have here is looking to the south. Again, standing in the general vicinity of where the building site is. And then the other photograph is a shot that I took looking to the east. You can see that the land that we're looking at here is currently in grass. The soil is a loamy fine sand. It has approximately 5 to 9% slope. The CSR of the site is a 21. There is going to be a new well and septic system needed here. I have a little bit of concern about potential water table area here as far as septic system. And I've discussed this with Brent, that there is the possibility that we may have to do an alternative type septic system. It's not a problem necessarily, it's just that we might have to kick into doing something a little bit different as far as the system goes. The site here, as you can see by the photograph and also by the aerial that I've given you, there is a pretty significant sized marsh or slough that exists on the neighboring property, and a little of that projects into this land here. That marsh exists basically due to the glacial characteristics that exist of the land out here, and for that reason, that's why I'm mentioning that I do have a little bit of a concern about high water table issues. I think it can be dealt with, and my thought is that septic system wise would go towards the south of the residence and not towards the north or the northeast where that slough exists. As for the driveway, the access would be off of 58th Street. Randy has looked at it and he reports that the site distance there is good. He indicates though that a few trees will need to be removed, and then the fence line reshaped a little bit where it meets the road. And he also indicates that Brent's planning to get a contractor to do that work that's behind the right-of-way. The main driveway, as you can see by a sketch, traverses along the west edge of the parcel. There's an existing acreage that sits obviously right up against the 58th Street there. Traverses along the west edge of the property and goes to the south and ends up of course to where the actual building site would be. Right now there's a path that goes back there, and he will be improving that driveway. That's all private. Surrounding land uses are farmland and rural residences in this area. We notified 6 adjacent property owners and the official newspapers of Benton County. I did receive one comment prior to today's hearing. It came from the son of the neighbor that owns the land to the east, and the call was made to me basically because of the fact when they received the public hearing notice, they had some concern due to the fact there could be a new house here if you approve that they would lose their ability to be able to hunt this land. As I mentioned here before, there's a significant slough there, duck hunting primarily. He was concerned about the law that mentions that you can't discharge firearm within 200 yards of an inhabited residence. And I talked to him at length about this. After our initial conversation, I contacted Pat Jorgensen with the Department of Natural Resources, talked to him about this. Pat spent some time on it, got back to me. There is actually a code section, Iowa Code Section 481A.123, And I have a copy of that here. There's an exemption in that law that applies to this situation. The individual called me is Boyd Ferguson. He lives across the road over to the east, all across the 32nd Avenue, but his mother's property borders this. And he indicated to me that they've hunted their ground for 3 generations, and he obviously didn't want that ability to go away. When Pat got back with me, he sent me a copy of this law. Section 5, subsection 5A of the law states that this section does not apply to the discharge of a firearm on a farm unit by the owner or tenant of the farm unit or by a family member of the owner or tenant of the farm unit. So basically, after I got that, I called Boyd Ferguson back, we discussed this, and he was satisfied then that the way the law is written, it's not going to stop them from hunting this land. So from that standpoint, anything that might have interfered with the ability for somebody to build a house here goes away in my judgment. And obviously, with it having a CSR of 21, it is the type of land that can be developed. It doesn't interfere with any farm operations that are nearby. There is no intense livestock or anything like that. So overall, it looks to me like it's favorable. Does that prompt any questions?
Got 2.
Okay.
The driveway on the beacon picture that's etched in there, is that a shared driveway, like it's gonna be an easement? Or do they own that property to get back to that 10 acres?
The way that was surveyed, they will own that property along that border. This acreage that this house goes with, when they surveyed that off, they left this space here to be able to get to the back.
Okay, see, I ain't got that.
And I'm sorry, you did.
You're fine.
I forgot, I didn't.
Okay.
I thought you had that, but no, I guess not.
No.
Anyway, it comes along the side here, and then
Okay.
the acreage boundary
Okay.
is outside of that, so there will not have to be an easement. That's
Okay.
owned access.
Okay. And then my second question is, did you contact Brent and Amy Alley about the law? You're to it?
Yes.
And
Yes, I talked to
that?
yes, I
Understand
talked
that
to
there will
Brent
be
about that.
gunshots?
I specifically told him that we'd had the call, that I looked at
Okay.
it, what the rationale behind the call was all about,
Okay.
and he said he didn't have any problem with that.
Okay. Okay. So we're here. Anybody else?
You got any questions, Rick?
I do not, and I do appreciate Tracy holding the paperwork up. It's much easier to follow along.
Okay.
So, no, I don't have any questions. I'd make a motion to approve the land use change for Brent and Amy Alley.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. We got a couple minutes till the next one. Maybe we can review. Thank you. just off Highway 30. Yeah.
Yeah, good, I got you here, sorry on that other.
It's all right. Yep, I know the place well.
You know it?
It's my neighborhood, yep. I don't know the man, but
I forget. I drive past it all the time. Did the storm take any buildings down at that place?
I think the corn crib's gone. I'm not positive.
That's what I was thinking too.
That had more than steel on it. I'm thinking that went down, but I'm not positive. I know, I'm thinking it blew the west door in on his main shop where he works in the semis.
Well, that storm was a mess. It took a door off of the building. And it went airborne, hit the roof of our barn. Put a hole in the tin, moved the roof over. It's a mess. Took the roof off another building, we got that replaced. I almost did that one day in the rain.
I think it's 9:30.
Yep,
Okay, Mark.
yeah.
Ready?
Ready.
This next application that I've given you is from Kevin Gilbride, 7284 23rd Avenue, Van Horn. We're on the east side of 23rd Avenue,
Good.
just north off of Highway 30. It's parcel A in the southwest quarter, section 298310 or El Dorado Township. This application involves request for approval for a truck repair business. What this application actually is all about is it's an attempt here to come from a non-conforming use on a property that has heretofore existed to make it a conforming use. What happened here is Kevin has had a truck repair business at this location, unbeknownst to me, since 2014. And what's happened is that after the derecho, one of the buildings on his property, actually two, one of the buildings to the north end of the acreage was destroyed and the house was severely damaged. And that's going to be rebuilt. He needed to temporarily move his residence into the existing shop building where the truck repair business was at. If you look at the attached aerial that goes with that, the house is in the middle. The building to the south is where the truck repair business has been located. And then there was a building to the north, and that one was totally destroyed. What Kevin wants to do is, and the reason why I was contacted and this came to my attention is that with the severe damage to the home, you want to temporarily move into the building to the south that is heretofore housed the truck business. He needed a septic system there in order to do that. And so I was contacted and we went through that process of being able to get him a septic system. The building to the north would be rebuilt, and that's where he wants to house the new truck business. And then basically the house is going to be rebuilt. And there is an existing septic system that was put in here that's it's totally conforming for this house. I told Kevin that his new home, he can connect to that. He could also connect a restroom. If he wanted to put a restroom in this building here, he could connect it to that septic system because it is an approved system, totally conforming. I also told Kevin that my reasoning about all of this was not to be punitive, but to get him to be conforming. He needed to submit an application to you for your approval. And he readily agreed and went along with that. He did not realize that he needed to do a land use change before to be able to put that business on the property. And so there we are, we're here and looking at his application. As far as the technical review, there isn't any land that's in production, as you can see here. It's all on the existing building site. The building that he wants to have the truck business in is going to go right back in the footprint where the original building was. So CSR here basically is non-relevant. There's an existing driveway. Randy actually looked at, there's nothing that needs to be done. There's existing water on the property, and as I already explained, he now has a code-conforming septic system for the building to the south, and there was an existing code-conforming system that he can use, so nothing needs to be done as far as utilities go. The surrounding uses are farmland, of course. There's also a communication tower just to the southwest of this parcel. We notified 2 adjacent property owners in the newspapers in Benton County as we're required to. No comments were received prior to today's hearing. This application, as I've already stated, is just trying to make an existing building that was there be conforming by actually going through this process and having Board of Supervisor approval. I don't see any conflicts with any of it, so basically that's all of my organized remarks. If there's any questions, feel free. Kevin is totally cooperative in the whole thing, and like I said, I told him from the get-go, I'm trying to be punitive, it's just, this is what we need to do to get you compliant.
Make a motion to approve the land use change for Kevin Gildebreth.
And I will second that motion.
Tracy made the motion, Rick seconded it. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Yeah. Okay, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
That's all I have today.
Once again, thank you, Tracy, for holding up those pictures.
Could you actually see them?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good deal.
You know, and just as important that anybody that tunes in can also see them.
Good.
There actually was 2 of us on there for a while.
Nice.
Aye.
You're good now?
That's fine. We got a few minutes yet before we start anyway. You sit down.
All right, I'll just sit here and take care of myself. Good. Well, I'll call any names. How you been?
Not bad, thanks.
Good. Haven't seen you in a long time.
Coming back together. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Just the standard stuff. FEMA and a lot of chaos and tumult.
Any reports, Gary?
and-
Did you have any meetings last week?
It's kind
No.
of
Yeah.
We
Navigating,
got some this week,
navigating that pile of
two of them the same time.
excrement.
Really? That's one.
Then you're afraid that you get on it from now and he blows it out. Oh well, we'll get there.
Yeah, he will.
I had Easy Cog last week. I had Eastern Iowa Housing first, and Easy Cog the second thing, so. Eastern Iowa Housing, that Tracy Albrecht will be coming to our meetings here.
Oh, yeah.
The 15th.
Well, then,
She already called?
She emailed me.
Okay, see, you're way ahead of me.
Take care, guys.
See you, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, way ahead of me.
There's people that are starting to get on the agenda for
Okay,
budget work.
okay, that's what this is.
Because I think on the 15th, you have two of them set up. The Eastern Iowa Housing Trust, I can't remember which the other one is. I think they're back to back.
Okay,
But there is two of them on
okay,
there.
okay.
So, but they will start.
I did tell her that we meet over here.
I did as well.
Okay.
Yeah, anybody that's trying to, or get on the agenda, I give them the directions,
Okay.
so, yeah. Or the address, I should say.
As long as John's Quick Stop stays there, we're all good.
Is that where you tell them to turn? I don't think they're moving anytime soon, so I think we're good.
Did you have any other meetings last week, Tracy?
No, I think that was it, if I remember right, without looking again.
Good. Well, since we're doing reports, I'll jump in. I had a couple of them. HACAP, of course, with the derecho and the pandemic, you know, the need has been great, and they have actually increased their inventory for HACAP, the inventory on hand that they distribute. And so, you know, so far they're holding their own, which is very, very good. The other meeting I had was with Heartland Insurance, and an item that we need to look at is the number of properties that Benton County has. We have 29 properties that are valued under $50,000. Obviously, these are going to be some of the sheds, maintenance sheds, etc. You need to make sure those are adequately insured. It's pretty easy to not stay up on some of those insurance values. So we need to be looking at that. So that was the two meetings I had.
One more thing there, Rick, that I forgot to mention, that on the Easy Cog itself, Mayor Fish is up for his appointed time here in December. And I guess we appoint him to the board, and he is willing to be reappointed in January if we so decide to reappoint him.
Is that the one that you guys just appoint, or does he have to apply?
No, I think he says he was appointed.
Okay, well, I just know you take board applications and that sort of thing, so.
Okay.
Well, Gene, you could look at that, couldn't you, when you get back to the office?
Yeah. Well, I think you can take your applications for any position, so if he's wanting to be reapplied, it's not gonna hurt to fill out that application,
Okay.
because that way you have something in front of you that doesn't get missed,
Okay.
and you don't forget about it in the future. He probably has never done it before, but it's not saying it's not a good idea. If someone's contacting you, say, hey, I wanna be on such and such board, direct them to get that application, so that way we have something in our records showing that they're interested.
Yeah, see Kathleen Van Steenhouse is the other one.
Okay.
It's-
And I
she's
can mail
not-
them then too.
I don't think she's up,
Yeah, I'm not sure.
but they discussed that a little bit, cause they were gonna check the bylaws there of EasyCog on
But,
that side, because, you know, they were saying that they need elected official and a city official, and then they also need Joe Blow resident,
mhm.
3 of them.
Yeah, and I don't know what those bylaws are, but anytime there's someone interested in one of those,
Okay.
the application, I believe, is on the, website. It's always on the website, but I believe under public notices, where that notice is. I don't know if it's just that public notice or if the application's on there, but I can, look at these two people
Okay.
and mail them the application as well, or, you know, contact them, because it's never gonna hurt to
Okay.
have them fill out the application, whether you guys just appoint or not.
Okay,
I mean, that way you have something in writing saying,
before my time, so I,
yeah, but I just think there's a lot of times people say, hey, put me on there, and then once you get to the appointing, there gets to be so many appointments that you forget someone, so that's where I think it's always a good idea to have a paper copy saying, hey, someone's interested.
Rick, do you remember that? Were you one of them that appointed him? Was that before your time or even?
Oh, I don't recall. You know, the first of the year, those appointments, they get all convoluted and you kind of a daze, if you will. But, yeah, I agree with Jan. Let's send them some paperwork. Let's make it official.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Okay.
That makes it simple. You can go back and
Because we take those applications, and I think it's till the 29th, I think, is the deadline, or 28th, 29th, around that time period of when we said that the applications are due. So, yeah, there's plenty of time to get an application in, but we get all those and we organize them and present them to you guys, so it's just as easy to have it right there in front of you.
makes sense. That way nobody will get forgot.
Yeah, I just know how it gets to when you're appointing people, and like you said, you go through so many of them, yeah.
Well, I think it's about time for, let's see here.
It's 9:45, yeah.
Yep.
Bring her on.
Lonnie, we're ready.
What you guys do, hit some taxes on a building that's not there anymore.
Lonnie's gonna have to speak up a little bit.
Okay, sorry, Rick. Can you hear me now?
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. All right. I want to abate some taxes on a building we bought that's just south of our city hall. Bought this old dilapidated house and we tore it down. We bought it in 18, July 11th in 18. And they keep sending us tax bills, and we didn't think we owed them. I guess I didn't understand that we still could be, as a city, paying taxes on property. I didn't realize that. So they're late.
So what are you using the property for? It was just,
Parking lot.
okay.
I mean, literally, probably next spring, we're gonna dig it out, because there's I don't know if you guys are familiar with our city hall, but there's a hill there. And so we're gonna dig it out and park some of our equipment in that space. On the upper level where the alley is gonna be parking for, I don't know, businesses, apartments on the upstairs of the commercial buildings downtown.
When the house come down?
So a month ago, maybe not even quite.
So it's been up.
Oh, it's, yeah, but it's not, yeah, hasn't been habitable. Even when people were living there, I'm not sure it was habitable.
I guess my question, the taxes, do they go back to the time frame with the previous owner, any at all?
No, we pay all the taxes up until the date we own the property are paid.
Okay, all right. Have you visited with Larry regarding all of this?
I visited with the office and they said, I have to come here and ask for abatement.
Okay. So if I heard correct, the house has been standing until, a month or two ago, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. But it has been city property since July 11th, 2018.
That's correct.
Okay. And your intent now that it's leveled is to use it for city parking.
Correct.
Okay.
There's still a garage. There's still a garage there that the city uses for storage. Lawnmowers and
Okay,
stuff.
makes sense. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because it's there.
Well, I wish Larry and Grease was there to see if we're setting some sort of precedent or something of that nature. Why is this just not come to light, Lonnie?
Because we didn't think we owed it, and I kept telling Barb to try to figure it out, and I guess the can just got kicked until now. I didn't realize that we had to come here and ask for the taxes not to be on the property. I just assumed incorrectly, apparently, that when the city owned the property, that we could still owe taxes on it.
Okay.
Like up at Newhall where they got those, solar panels, there's no taxes on that, is there?
No tax.
Well, that's county property.
Yeah, that's county property. There's no taxes on solar panels, period, as of right now.
I guess I could understand if we were flipping the house or making some kind of,
Profit.
yeah,
Yep.
or a
Yep.
business situation, I could see that where the city would owe taxes. That wasn't the intent. The intent was always tear it down. Then several things happened and our excavator got busy tearing other things down that were already partially torn down for months on end here, so that's part of it. He was supposed to tear it down in July, but that didn't happen.
My feelings is, Rick, that I like to table it till next week, and you don't have to come up next week. You can stay home and watch it online, because I'm kind of scared, like Rick says, we might be setting a precedence, because I look at Belle Plaine, pick on that town for instance. They did, I think, repossess or got their hands on the old hotel down there.
Oh my God, that's good.
Well, now, it just got me thinking right now that, all right, who's paying the taxes on that?
Mayor Fish probably smarter than me, he probably already asked to get
So-
it abated.
I don't know, I don't remember.
I don't know.
Because see, the building at that time, they were trying to restore it to a history, and things just didn't click, it didn't happen. And I don't know how it's coming from now since then. I've heard scuttlebutt what's going on, but it's not fact. Just hearsay.
Well, I think it'd be wise if we had the assessor there.
You can, I don't have a problem. I just
Okay.
don't, I don't want to.
We understand, you know, that,
Penalties phase if I end up having to pay the taxes and stuff. And if You know, you guys can talk to Larry and ask him what's going on, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll do it that way.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other
Thank you,
questions for me, guys?
You didn't make a profit on it, so I understand it, you know,
Oh, no, it
you know-
cost us $12,000 to get it tore down.
yeah, okay.
We're in the hole, 46,000, I think, is what we ended up. Yeah,
Okay,
for a parking lot, so
okay.
don't rub salt in my wound. No, just kidding. Whatever it takes, guys, that's
Okay.
all I'm asking.
All right, we'll take a look into it.
Thank you, thank
Yeah.
Rick,
Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Lonnie.
see y'all later.
See ya.
I'm gonna go before Larry, or Larry.
Fine.
Is here. You got
They,
Larry.
Mari, I know it.
Belle Plaine has got a lot of properties that are,
See, I don't know how it's all coming out down there. I don't have a clue.
well, I heard that they were getting, there was somebody trying to rebuild it,
Oh, really? See, I don't know.
but I don't know where that's at either, right now.
No. See, the last couple of meetings that I had with Mayor Fish has all been Zoom or whatever, you know, he's not there in person, so.
Well, that hotel's been a real pain for Belle Plaine.
Mm-hmm,
Everybody wants to fix it, but nobody's got any money.
mm-hmm.
They do have, canvas on the roof now, so I don't think there's water getting inside it much.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I have not been in that building, but it's my understanding that it's pretty tough inside. You know, you get a building that's got water coming in it for several years. It's a mess. I don't know. I guess if you wanna save it, you ought to put a roof on it. Even if it's just some old sheets of tin or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Freezing
seeing,
in there.
I'm seeing some shingles go down the road finally. Semi-loads of shingles.
Oh,
I haven't seen any for quite a while. I don't know if we just happened to see them or what.
there's still shingle in the new hole, Atkins.
I know there's a bunch of shingles and I know it's a long ways, but it wasn't that awful wide, really. You go down to Williamsburg and I'm not gonna say that there isn't any damage, but it's not like it is here.
No, but on the same token, you got the hurricanes in south. They got
Yeah.
ripped up, so they need shingles.
Yeah.
You know, the last week we kinda switched from, we're building doors now for barns and machine sheds and all that, and it's like, well, I get down here, I'm going to McDowell's and I'm getting their rollers. I can't get rollers from Atkins anymore, they're sold out, they can't get any from their suppliers for their doors.
Really?
Yeah, they can't give me a date when, like the tracks, when they're gonna come in.
Really?
Yeah, so like, I called McDowell's yesterday morning, they got everything, so put my name on it, I'll pick it up tomorrow.
You use a 2-roller tracks or just one?
Both.
you know, you don't think of those things. But there's a lot of tracks that are gone.
Christie, may I ask how the transportation building is progressing this past week?
You most certainly may. Water and sewer got hooked up somewhat. They put a pit out there where the fence used to be diagonal, the southwest corner of that lot. I guess it's a new ordinance that Benton's doing, that they're putting a meter in a pit in the ground, no more of the meter inside the buildings. That was kind of a new one on me. But the pit's out of the ground like 3 foot, so I never stopped this morning to look in the hole to see if there's a meter in there, but to me there can't be because it's still not capped off yet. The elements can get down that pipe to the ground. On Friday, Alliant Energy was up here and they hooked onto the gas main right next to where they dug the water and sewer in. And they brought that line in around the south side between the building and the chain link fence. And they got that stubbed up on the east side of the building between the cantilever overhang of the porch and the window. Yesterday, City of Benton did hook the power up to the building. They got the meter on the outside, which in turn I haven't called him. I've called the electrician to tell him that he can come in and start putting switches on so they can have lights inside the building themselves instead of running them off drop cords. The drywall was dropped off and put inside the rooms, I believe Thursday. The drywall guy was supposed to show up yesterday. I was informed today that he wasn't there yet. Edwards is putting the radiant heat up on the ceilings right now in the big part and running the gas line inside the building on the inside to the 2 radiant heats. Ben has been working over there with the fiber optics and they got pretty well all that ran, waiting for power to be hooked up so they can at least get the doors to the locks working. Yeah, what am I missing now?
Well, it's progressing by the sounds of things, which
Yep.
is good.
Yep,
And to get the utilities hooked up, get some heat in that building, will make the drywalling a whole lot easier.
correct.
Good, good.
The only thing I was not happy on, we're having a little snag on that, is that I haven't talked to him yet, but the guide wire on the west end of the building, on the pole on the city street in the easement, is still there yet. And I've asked the electrician twice that when they come and hook the power up, can they get rid of that guide wire, because it's really no need to be there, because the line runs straight north and south. And they said no, absolutely not. They do not want to remove that guide wire. And it's dead center in the west door when you come out.
Yeah, I know that.
So I want to stop in the next week or two and have a conversation why it has to be there.
Well, I wonder if it could have, a guy wire, of course, keeps it from tipping, with that case to the south. I wonder if they could put a wooden brace on the south side of that, bracing it towards the north. Without a lot of pressure on it, just so in case the wind would push it to the south, it's not going to topple over. You get my gist of it?
I I understand, yeah, you're putting like a dog leg along to brace over top of it.
Exactly, yeah.
And see, I look at it that they don't need it because the line itself runs north and south. If anything, they need a brace coming off on the east side where it comes off that pole to go across the street to that house.
Mm-hmm. It's just like again, I think a dog leg or the brace, I think that would be an alternative method, but yeah. They just need to think outside the box with it.
Yeah.
We gotta get the guy wire out of there.
Yep, yep.
And even if it's county expense to get it done, we gotta get it done.
Yep.
Okay, right.
So,
Thank you for filling us in.
okay, well, like I said, I'm trying to do my best, but other irons in the fire.
A lot of them in the fire, yeah. We're probably, about 60 days out? Something like that, realistically.
Yeah, no more than 60. I'm still in my mind, still shooting to have a lot of this done by Christmas. If I can get the drywaller and get him mud in there. Today I'm gonna meet with Dana to let her pick out what kind of cupboards, the woodwork, the doors, the color, whether it's painted or wood. I wanna get that ordered. Things like that on the inside. And I look at it that I guess, the girls, and I kind of volunteered them and they agreed to it that the drywaller is gonna texture it and all that, and he's gonna prime it. And then I told him, leave the paper on the ground. They should pick out the color of paint, and they're responsible for painting their rooms. And Dana agreed to that, so they got their colors picked out already, and
Purple.
yeah, leave me have it.
I don't know one thing.
Tie-dye action.
Well, that's nice because they take a little pride in the ownership of it, so you betcha.
Correct. So, I mean, things are moving, not moving as fast as what I would like, but they are moving.
Sure.
So, I'll spend some time over there when we get done out of here today. Myron's late too, by the way.
He's right there.
You got his badge?
Do you want me to show him my badge through the window?
How do you get this open?
Watch for the green light.
I'm colorblind.
I was gonna show you my badge through the window and see if that helped you.
I don't,
Which doesn't allow me to
Is
get
that a
in
fire
anymore, I
escape?
don't believe.
No.
So, I realized that.
Well, you got that
Jumped
door
out of the
over there.
vehicle and I'm like,
what's that?
You got that door over there too, so.
I bet you it is. So there's no one every classroom has a door.
I don't know what he originally asked.
Is that a fire escape? Can't legally be locked. I said, I don't think so. The windows are big enough there, egress windows.
Yeah, throw a chair through it.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Oh, morning. Just trying to call your number, Tracy.
I was gonna ask you to open the door.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
that one,
So I wasn't sure if I had Gina's in my phone. No, I wrote it down.
Gary's colorblind, so he can't see the color of light and look.
I can tell a slip, but that's about it.
I take you, Rick, you're on the phone?
Yeah, Rick's on the phone.
Can you see that?
Yes, he can.
Okay.
You wanna write them numbers down, Rick?
I I don't think he can see those numbers.
No?
Can't quite see them.
Closer?
Right there.
How about now?
Sorry. I don't have Zoom on my camera.
He put it,
There you go, look at that. Okay, I see that.
Okay,
Thank you.
write the 2 down or the name down, whatever.
I got it.
Got it? What did you do?
We got it.
I held papers to a camera.
you were Vanna.
All right, on November 17th, the DOT had their planned monthly DOT letting. Ironically enough, the DOT website went down about that day or the day before, and so pretty much all of the projects that were supposed to be opened and read Tuesday got moved to the 18th, Wednesday, after they got some things fixed on the website. And so letting was a day later than what was originally planned, but that way everybody that was intending to bid, make sure they had all that information correctly. But in that project, or in that letting, the DOT, or in the DOT letting, Benton County had 4 projects. Johnson County had a 5th that was part of this competitive highway bridge bundling that we had done in an agreement earlier, trying to bundle projects together. The feds were offering some substantial money for that. Seeing, in their opinion, that grouping projects together, whereas the county engineers organization and cities kind of came up with some criteria just to use internally for submitting the projects. With that criteria, that's why Benton County ended up having 4 bridges that fit that criteria that I submitted. And Johnson County, just being adjacent county, was the one that was selected to add into ours, or add in with R4 to make it a bundling deal. Those 5 bridge replacement projects, what the DOT received was 2 bids, one from Taylor Construction Incorporated and one from PCI, Peterson Contractors Incorporated. You see the total price for all 5 of those individual locations added together in this sheet I gave you. The 2.531 million is Taylor's bid. PCI's was 3.055 million. So the first order of action is just to accept those bids that were received by the DOT at the November 18th.
Motion approved.
Well, I'll make that motion to accept those bids.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
What was that?
So, Joe, you're not gonna look at it anyway, but just in case. Both of those contractors have all of their necessary paperwork, documentation that was submitted with DOT in advance. So, you know, they're both very qualified contractors, considering that the price difference is about $500,000. Having experience with both of them, I would recommend that Taylor Construction be the contractor selected to award this contract.
We have a motion.
So moved.
And seconded.
Taylor.
Okay, we have a motion for Taylor Construction and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. So, that passes. Taylor Construction is,
Just for reference, I'll give you a map showing where the 4 bridges are located in Benton County.
You can't see the dots there.
yeah, we can't see him.
For those listening,
He can't.
No. Can you see that, Rick, on there? It's too,
Larry?
No, it's too far back. Go closer.
One's north of Benton.
Say from a general description.
There you go.
I actually cannot see it, sorry.
Okay. For a general description,
There's a
Rick,
delay on that.
north of Benton, out by the sand pit that Wendland Quarries has, that bridge just south of the railroad tracks is one of the structures. That's getting replaced with a 70-foot, 30-foot wide continuous concrete slab bridge. North of the 150 curve or Hummel's curve, that be about a mile and a half north of that curve, is a current 150-foot long bridge. It's going to get replaced with a 209-foot, 30-foot wide slab bridge. 2 miles north of Luzerne is a short bridge span that's going to get replaced with a twin box culvert. And then over by Schminke Equipment, right on 30th Avenue Drive, right around the corner from the bridge we replaced, I think 2 years ago, a 100-foot long by 30-foot slab bridge is going in there. And with the bundling aspect, the Johnson County project, just for reference sake, is located just outside the city of Oxford. It's a 70-foot slab that's going on Blackhawk Avenue in Johnson County. When I looked at the bid prices, just for comparison, 4 of the 5 individual sites actually came in under the estimated cost. The twin box culvert, those actually came in a little bit over, but very little, just for comparison's sake. Doing the math this morning, just for comparison, or just for information's sake, this competitive highway bridge program is going to fund $1,051,000 of Benton County's portion of the project, and then $881,000 will come out of our SWAP HBP funding. So all funding available between the feds and the SWAP program. Outside of administrative costs, there won't be any direct or additional county expenses. It'll be a pass-through aspect. It'll still run through the county's programming. A couple of these projects are actually on a farm market route, so they'll run through our DOT FM route, or FM funding versus the county segment road. When it's all said and done, the construction costs will be at net zero.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So how's this work with Johnson County? We've approved this. Do they have to approve it too?
They approved it last week formally. 2 weeks ago, the bids were presented to them at their informal board meeting, but last Thursday, they took formal action to award the project to Taylor also like you did, but because Benton County agreed to be the contracting authority for all 5 projects, I wanted them to review it and take action first. Otherwise, we probably talked about this a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But with the wedding getting delayed a day, Johnson County had to change the schedule. They have certain days per week they do informal things and certain days they do formal things, and they prefer to do what we just did in the last 10 minutes in 2 meetings instead of 1. Now with these DOT projects and being administered electronically through what's called a docket press, I have a resolution here that identifies each one of those 5 projects. But to sign the contract that you just agreed to move forward with, designating I, the county engineer, to do that signature online, so that we don't have the challenges of working with this right computer and the right signature and the right bodies all at the right time. And so I have a resolution here, just like the 2 that we have done previously, just change the dollar amount and the project description and project numbers.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Resolution.
Resolution. Aye.
Aye.
Beershank, aye.
By the way, Tricky, that did work. Holding that map up, I got it close enough for me.
See, how was your eyes?
I guess. Get Rick's signature. Whatever.
I thought maybe you'd have powers. I'm looking at Eugene and thinking how you could get Rick's signature.
Not today.
Like those cartoons, you just reach through
Right.
the tablet and,
Oh,
I
I
mean-
didn't get the second page, or third page.
when I have a discussion with the contractor in the short near future here, I don't know what their proposed schedule is. You know, that's a question sometimes is asked and really isn't anything that can be discussed until after the contract is awarded.
Correct.
But an effort that I thought maybe I'd have a little bit more bidders, but the bids were, you know,
There's only 2 copies.
yes, at or below our estimated cost. Johnson County and I had discussed about maybe allowing 2 construction seasons for these 5 projects. The worst bridge that I felt in Benton County is the one north of Holmester, 24th Avenue Drive. So that was the one that was placed with the greatest priority, I guess, on getting done the quickest. So we'll need to be starting no later than April of next year. Johnson County kind of had an interest in getting theirs done during next season also. That one has to be started no later than June 7th of next year. I read selected the one, I think on the Laverne pavement. All right.
How many buses?
No, I take that back. The one out by the sand pit was the one that I had, no later than August, of 21. The other 2 projects, I threw out an April of 22 date and a June of 22 date that they would have to start it by then. But if one contractor wanted to try to do all 5 structures, they couldn't get them all done unless they had the right number of crews in one construction season. So these projects had to be let by, as part of that competitive bridge highway program, they had to be let by the fall of 21. And they need to be fully constructed, completed, paperwork included by the end of September of 26, I believe. We're well within that timeline.
Yeah,
Just
don't
for
let that
information's
out.
sake, I thought I'd throw that out for you. But that's all I have for today.
My purpose,
Yes,
you want me to get a seal on that?
maybe
Okay.
you could do that.
I'll give it to someone else in my office that comes sees you.
That was gonna be my suggestion.
How's the hiring process coming, Myron?
I'm working on that. Attempting to work on that. I'm working on that. It's been going a little slower than I want to, just because there's been other things that keep popping up. But that is where I'm headed back to when I walk out of here.
Okay. You been doing interviews then? Are you up to that already?
I'm getting up to that point. Done some phone information, but
What are you pushing for first? Office help or somebody behind the steering wheel?
right now it's gonna be pretty much simultaneously. I'm doing the equipment operator first, but because of where things are at right now, they're almost gonna be laying on top of things. I was
Okay.
trying to complete some FEMA requirements and necessary stuff, as well as me doing our weekly conference calling type activities and that's starting to slow down enough, and part of it is also just gonna get pushed aside. That the last 3 weeks, Monday morning has started, and Friday afternoon has been here, and it's snap of a finger. And, fortunately, Mother Nature's been really nice from an equipment operator standpoint, but
Till the
we're at that time of the year where that's gonna change here one of these days, so.
Mhm.
And I know some of the applicants that would qualify and of interest to visit with may have a little bit of a timeline before they'd be available, and others are in a position where if they would be selected, their timeline is fairly short time starting, so.
Okay.
I wanted to evaluate both ends of that spectrum, not limited to just those that were immediately available.
Okay. Sounds good.
If you don't have anything else, that's what I'm gonna go work with.
No, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Byron.
Thank you, Rick.
Is there anything else?
Yeah. Make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second that.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Yeah.